something more than a temporal head, something more than even a representative of his people, always a world citizen, whether in Asia or Africa, the USA or the USSR, promoting peace, narrowing down differences on behalf of life and the future. From hemisphere to hemisphere, placing the point of view of developing countries and the international situation as his country sees it.
The President is a noted philosopher. When I commented on the weather this morning, he said we cannot always control events, but we can always control our attitude towards events. This is only the beginning, I'm sure, Mr. President, of a good deal of wisdom which we will derive from your visit, so that I know that I speak on behalf of all of my countrymen in welcoming the distinguished President of a great country to the shores of the United States. Mr. President.
Mr. President, I thank you for your very kind words, and I am glad to be here accepting your invitation. It gives me an opportunity to meet you, Mrs. Kennedy, the leaders of your government and your people. We greet in you, Mr. President, an understanding and sympathetic friend, aware of the efforts we are making to build a liberal democracy in our country at a time when in many parts of the world the fabric of democracy is crumbling down. Thank you very much, Mr. President, for your kind speech.
A philosopher's journey, the Americans hailed a wise and Catholic mind, calling all the world to match its tremendous scientific advances with a reawakening of the spirit. The great question of our time, the overriding issue of survival. Speaking to the United Nations, President Radhakrishnan said,
"The highest concept is world community. It is that kind of world community to which we have to attach ourselves. It is unfortunate that we are still the victims of concepts which are outmoded, which are outdated, so to say. We are living in a new world. And in a new world, new type of men is necessary. And unless we are able to change our minds, to change our hearts, it will not be possible for us to survive in this world. The challenge that is open to us is it survival or annihilation?
Back home, the cares of high office. The wide-ranging presidential duties include the opening of Parliament. He delivers the presidential address outlining policies and plans for the present and the future.
I, Indira Gandhi,
Do solemnly affirm
The leader of the majority party in Parliament is invited to form a government.
to the Constitution of India
to the Constitution of India
as by law established,
that
I will uphold the sovereignty and integrity of India
of India
Prime Minister for the Union,
as the Prime Minister for the Union.
On the advice of the Prime Minister, the President appoints a Council of Ministers.
I do solemnly affirm that I will not directly or indirectly communicate or reveal as a Minister for the Union
On several occasions, Sarvepalli Radhakrishnan is at home.
The baby getting on board? Why, here or there? At home? Why, in Bombay or here? Delhi. Indeed. I saw Mr. Musa. Done it without her. I know. I saw Mr. Musa. I saw him, I remember. September 1st, already dead.
Sit down.
Yeah, after some time we have to sit down. I pay my homage to your Lord. Thank you. Indira Gandhi is there.
As President, Sarvepalli Radhakrishnan is the Supreme Commander of India's armed forces, encouraging men and officers, defining their role in a free democracy.
Our troops have so far only fought for peace and for the defense of our land. We are proud of our soldiers, our airmen, our naval ratings, their achievements and their valor. But above all, we are proud of their nobility, which is a great part of the gift of life. And let us remember their readiness to sacrifice even the most precious gift of life and adopt an attitude of courage and self-denial.
Fountainhead of recognition for outstanding services, the President confers on the late Mr. Lal Bahadur Shastri, the Bharat Ratna, here received by his son. For valor, for service, for outstanding achievement in diverse fields of life, honoring those contributing to the making of a rich civilization. Oftener than the many calls on his time and energy permit, President Radhakrishnan tours the country, symbol of its unity. Knitting the many people of a large country together in the realization of a common destiny. In times of hope as well as of affliction, his is the healing voice. Not without reason is he known as our President. From land's end to land's end, enjoining upon his people the high ideal of tolerance of a secular but spiritual India.
We call ourselves a secular state. That does not mean that we don't profess any religion or that we are indifferent to religion. It only means that we don't identify the state with any particular religion, and we respect all religions and give them full freedom to express themselves and grow. Intolerance, hatred, oppression of religious minorities, these things are not in our proper tradition.
Only when philosophers are kings, or the kings and princes of this world have the spirit and power of philosophy, and political greatness and wisdom meet in one, then only will this our state behold the light of day. So said Plato over 2,000 years ago. In Sarvepalli Radhakrishnan, philosopher, president, India has that rare confluence.
My whole attempt in my pretty long life, in my writings, speeches and works, was to promote the unity of the world on the basis of mind and spirit. That is what we attempted to do when we were confronted by different cultures and others in our country, with the Aryan and the Dravidian, the Hindu and the Buddhist, the Jew and the Christian, the Zoroastrian and the Muslim. All these things came to India, and our one attempt was to bring about the essential unity underlying all these religions, and thus contributing to what you call world solidarity. And that's what the world is called upon to do today.